Welcome to episode 7 of Where in the World, the detailed showcase of cities and locations that have been visited in the Arcane Adventures campaign setting. We have a map on screen, as usual, that details the general location of the place we are talking about during today's episode. Let's jump right into episode 7, Where in the World? Kinabog's Observatory. A treacherous mountain road climbs and twists as it leads up the tallest mountain on the surface of the planet, which takes about 3 to 4 days to fully traverse, before finally reaching the summit of the regularly snow-capped peak. Here, amidst the steep snow, stands a complex of marbled walls, structures with elegant, decorated green shingles. The building at the top of the world, Kinabog's Observatory. Strong winds whip across the jagged top of Kinabog's Peak, swirling past the high towers of the distant observatory. From a few of the towers, large golden telescopes protrude from the green-topped shingled roofs, affixed to celestial bodies and their movements through the sky. The observatory, founded and constructed several centuries back, is staffed entirely by kobolds, and is led by the Kinabog family head, of whom the observatory gets its name. Typically, kobolds could not endure such harsh weather conditions, but a neat magical trinket, known as a ring of homeostasis, maintains body temperature stability, and keeps the kobolds not necessarily warm, but temperate. About 120 kobolds call the observatory their year-round home, each tasked with specific jobs and each crucial to the function of the observatory as a whole. The primary task of this facility, which was commissioned for construction by a shared interest in furthering science between the nations of Pupilisu, the Winsau Empire, and the Clory Estate, is to observe celestial movements. In the few centuries of the observatory's operation, and its many expansions and renovations through the years, a number of studies have targeted the planet's own structure and the two moons, with a number of other research aimed at the planet in the same system as the planet of Aletheia, and even now, surrounding systems dotting in the same galaxy. Hundreds to thousands of reports and documents study and record celestial movements, star charts, and the like throughout history. People rarely travel to the observatory for fun, largely due to its long journey, but monthly shipments do make their way from the large city at the foot of the mountain. Once every 2 years or so, the royal house, or at least the king of Pupilisu, pays a visit to the observatory to check in on the studies and research of the facility. For the most part, however, the conducted studies at the observatory make their way to conferences and more welcoming cities, closer to home. Only one road leads to and from the observatory, leading to the city of Colis in the Monif Valley. As mentioned earlier, the weather of the observatory is cold, windy, and in large parts of the year, under blizzard conditions, with temperatures dropping to extreme lows during the year, and with several feet of snow deposited across the peak. Many wonder and question how the observatory can even function, which has led to magical lenses being used inside the telescopic contraptions, capable of piercing through the strongest snowstorms and clarity of vision. For those that travel along with us in our traditional recap videos, you might recognize that we skipped over both Katera and Colis, as we briefly visited these places, but did not spend much time here. So we will save these places and locations for a later time. We hope you have enjoyed this closer look at the summit of Kinabog's Peak, and the observatory that sits atop it. The work of the kobolds at this facility is a feat of advancement in science, research, and astronomy. That's all for today's episode of Where in the World. See you next time.